Hello everyone, my name is Nisreen Zaqla. I'm excited to share with you my thoughts on the Nacirema community. Having read the article Body Ritual Among the Nacirema Community, I found these people a bit interesting, uh, especially by the practice of painful activities in order to comply with religious requirements. American researchers wanted to understand the amazing natural and social world Nacirema people were living in. So the Nacirema people actually live a mystical life with all the knowledge of scientific understanding. In continuation, these people have complex religious systems underpinned by mystical beliefs. They are distinguished by intense dedication to ritualistic observance in order to explain the decaying nature of humanity. Members believe in medicine man, herbalists, magicians, and mouthmen. The Nisreen trust that parents can even bewitch their children. I found that funny. In addition, these people are sighted and they are accustomed to viewing the world in visual terms. They cannot be able to communicate orally, so their communication is based on use of gestures and pointing at things. The Nacirema customs include scraping, lacerating the face or legs with sharp instruments, piercing the skin with sharp instruments, painting of the body, and others. So, my communication or other practice in my culture. My culture practices indirect communication, which is somehow different from this community. There is the use of non-verbal indicators like body language. My culture maintains their face while communicating. Children are taught to stand still while talking to older people. That's a sign of respect. Kids also are trained to be quiet or respond in a polite manner. The needs of the group take precedence over those of the individual in this kind of culture. Connection to the US cultural worldview values. The American worldview generally does not align with indirect communication methods. American society is defined by direct, even brutal verbal communication. Being honest in communication is regarded as being more important than saving face. Silent people appear like they are uninterested in a conversation. The American worldview does not align with indirect communication. Direct to brutal verbal communication is what defines American society. Being honest in communication is regarded as being more important than saving face. Being silent in communication is regarded as being uninterested in the American society. Like, how will you just talk to someone who doesn't talk back, or rather doesn't speak back to you? So it is regarded as being uninterested in American society. Those raised from my culture have no idea, remain quiet, and they are perceived as impolite and disrespectful. So how this practice has changed throughout history. Nacirema people find it hard to converse with Americans indirectly or someone who is unfamiliar with their culture, since it will offend them. They assume that their culture in terms of communication is ineffective. People from my cultural background have felt the need to modify their communication styles according to the acceptable and the relatable audience at that time of interaction. Aspects of direct communication have over time come to be accepted in my society. Moreover, the survival of indirect communication patterns in US culture does more harm than good. The American society creates avoidable communication hurdles in indirect communication. For instance, Cynthia Joyce argues that the impact of direct and indirect communication, that is, the indirect communication, lays a a disproportionate responsibility of comprehension on the listener and a less burden on the person transmitting the message. And equal participation through lack of common platform for effective communication provides an interactive mode of communication. In addition, Cynthia Joyce also states that some person at the University of Law argues that people should be more frank and honest to help disclose the root of the issues as much as possible. Joyce further argues that indirect communicators may end up doing nothing to help in the addressing communication problems. Therefore, is a need for Nacirema people to change and adapt some of the direct communication practices. I think I am done with my presentation. It's been 5 minutes long. Oh my god.